You can get much further with a kind word and a gun than with a kind word alone. Can you forgive an enemy God will forgive? Our task is to arrange their meeting. Don't run from lessons. They are little packages of treasure that have been given to us. As we learn from them, our lives change for the better. Do the best you can until you know better. Then when you know better, do better. What lies behind us and what lies before us are tiny matters compared to what lies within us. A very wise man once told me that you can't look back, you just have to put the past behind you and find something better in your future. Try to accomplish things you have always dreamt of while you can. I know it sounds cliché, but the biggest lesson I have learned is that life is precious. Enjoy it while it lasts. Every day, do something that will inch you closer to a better tomorrow. It is wise to keep in mind that neither success nor failure is ever final. If you don't design your own life plan, chances are you'll fall into someone else's plan, and what they have planned for you is not much. In the long run, we shape our lives, and we shape ourselves. The process never ends until we die, and the choices we make are ultimately our own responsibility. Over the years, I've come to realize that mistakes are just lessons. Life lessons, almost like school. Once you've learned a lesson in class, you move on to the next lesson, because now you know it. Well, mistakes are the same. Be like a tree and let the dead leaves drop. There is no end to education. It is not that you read a book, pass an examination, and finish with education. The whole of life, from the moment you are born to the moment you die, is a process of learning. The country wanted booze, and I organized it. Why should I be called a public enemy? The biggest lesson I learned this year is to not force anything. Conversations, friendships, relationships, attention, love. Anything forced is just not worth fighting for. Whatever flows, flows. What crashes, crashes. Be patient with yourself. You are growing stronger every day. The weight of the world will become lighter, and you will begin to shine brighter. Don't give up. Hell must be a pretty swell spot, because the guys that invented religion have sure been trying hard to keep everybody else out. I'm a businessman. I've made my money supplying a popular demand. If I break the law, my customers are as guilty as I am. Do what is right, not what is easy, nor what is popular. Don't go through life, grow through life. Every fault made is another valuable lesson learned. The biggest lesson I've learned is that hurt people, and kindness is just as contagious. So if you can focus your efforts on engineering kindness, it will prevail. Some people play safe not to lose. You will definitely lose if you play safe. 20 years from now, you will be more disappointed by the things that you didn't do than by the ones you did do. So throw off the bowlines. Sail away from the safe harbor. Catch the trade winds in your sails. Explore, dream, discover. People who are crazy enough to think they can change the world are the ones who do. Just don't give up trying to do what you really want to do. Where there is love and inspiration, I don't think you can go wrong. I will give 36 of my thugs for one person who can solve questions by talking. You can waste your lives drawing lines, or you can live your life crossing them. Only those who risk going too far can possibly find out how far one can go. Take criticism seriously, but not personally. If there is truth or merit in the criticism, try to learn from it. Otherwise, let it roll right off you. I am always ready to learn, although I do not always like being taught. Pause and remember, every single event in your life, especially the difficult lessons, have made you smarter, stronger, and wiser than you were yesterday. Be thankful. The trouble is, if you don't spend your life yourself, other people spend it for you. All the dead were hanged on me, with the exception of the victims of World War II. Learning to appreciate those things that aren't related to success has proved the biggest lesson. Every strike brings me closer to the next home run. Life is a series of natural and spontaneous changes. Don't resist them. That only creates sorrow. Let reality be reality. Let things flow naturally forward in whatever way they like. Be careful who you call your friends. I'd rather have 4 quarters than 100 pennies. Be correct with everyone, sociable with many, close to the elect, friend to the few. A lesson learned from suffering is not easily forgotten. You can't go back and change the beginning, but you can start where you are and change the ending. Wisdom is not a product of schooling, but of the lifelong attempt to acquire it. Pause and remember, every single event in your life, especially the difficult lessons, have made you smarter, stronger, and wiser than you were yesterday. Be thankful. We can't become what we need to be by remaining what we are. We now accept the fact that learning is a lifelong process of keeping abreast of change, and the most pressing task is to teach people how to learn. Attitude is a choice. Happiness is a choice. Optimism is a choice. Kindness is a choice. Giving is a choice. Respect is a choice. Whatever choice you make, makes you. Choose wisely. But one of the big lessons I have learned from my journey is you can't please everyone, so don't try. Be not afraid of growing slowly, be afraid only of standing still. Unless you try to do something beyond what you have already mastered, you will never grow. The fact is that to do anything in the world worth doing, we must not stand back shivering and thinking of the cold and danger, but jump in and scramble through as well as we can. The highest reward for one's toil is not what one gets for it, but what one becomes by it. Don't test the depth of the river with both feet. As a child, I prayed to God for a bicycle. Then I realized that God works differently. I stole my bike and prayed for forgiveness. What you do makes a difference, and you have to decide what kind of difference you want to make. If there is no struggle, there is no progress. In every success story, you will find someone who has made a courageous decision. What we think, we become. Work out the problems as they come up. Nothing personal, it's just business. If you must lie, be brief. You've got to know when it's time to turn the page. You get in life what you have the courage to ask for. My greatest life lesson has been that life can change in a second. This is why it's important to always live your best possible life and to do what you can for others. Life is not a problem to be solved, but a reality to be experienced. Life is inherently risky. There is only one big risk you should avoid at all costs, and that is the risk of doing nothing. Do not shake the green apple tree. When the apple is ripe, it will fall down by itself. If your friends ask you to negotiate with your enemy, then the traitors have already agreed behind your back. Stay afraid, but do it anyway. What's important is the action. You don't have to wait to be confident. Just do it, and eventually the confidence will follow. You only struggle because you're ready to grow, but aren't willing to let go. Forgive yourself for your faults and your mistakes, and move on. The world belongs to the patient. Shortcuts make long delays. Learn from yesterday, live for today, hope for tomorrow. The important thing is not to stop questioning. Life isn't about finding yourself. Life is about creating yourself. Listen to the advice that gives you an advantage, but do not give such advice to anyone. Don't waste another moment crying over what went wrong. If it wasn't a blessing, it was a lesson. Live as if you were to die tomorrow. Learn as if you were to live forever. A bullet changes a lot in your head, even if it hits in the ass. With every act of self-care, your authentic self gets stronger, and the critical, fearful mind gets weaker. Every act of self-care is a powerful declaration. I am on my side, I am on my side. Each day, I am more and more on my own side. Accept yourself, love yourself, and keep moving forward. If you want to fly, you have to give up what weighs you down. Strive not to be a success, but rather to be of value. Capitalism is the legitimate racket of the ruling class. Everything you do comes back to you. When someone shows you who they are, believe them the first time. Don't cry because it's over. Smile because it happened. Develop a passion for learning. If you do, you will never cease to grow. One can choose to go back toward safety or forward toward growth. Growth must be chosen again and again. Fear must be overcome again and again. If I cannot do great things, I can do small things in a great way. One of my biggest life lessons is, we heal at the speed of our forgiveness.